Hello and welcome to the Supermanime review. This one we are doing the episode 4, which is Dr. Ivo, Parasite, and a little thing with Lois Lane at the end. So first off, we're just going to do a quick one. That is Hassan, by the way. I am Dan. We are brought to you by Into the AM, where you can go to intotheam.com/absolutely. Use code absolutely. Save 10% on some very comfortable shirts. Mine is currently in the wash, but I love it. They've got some great designs. Definitely go check them out. So blanket review on this one. I thought it was good, and I kind of like these changes that they did. And like, I feel like I want to talk about some things that could come out of these. But overall, I'm really enjoying this show so far.
Let's just take a minute and talk about the elephant in the room. The scene where Clark takes off his shirt. Oh my God. If that's not Superman, I don't know. I don't think Superman has ever been portrayed to be so comically ripped like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like where here's someone in the comment. Have you ever read Superman Legacy? And then he has abs. No, man. I'm talking about in like an animation medium. Obviously make him jacked, but he's like as big as Batman. Batman has to be a tiny little guy compared to Superman in this world. Are you kidding me? He looks so jacked. And they have like Lois take off her little shirt. I actually think, because like one of the things we were talking about is that this isn't for Adult Swim.
Right.
I think we're inching forward into Adult Swim, especially that, but also some of the violence in this episode, as well as like the graphic imagery. Mm-hmm. I think that they started like this, and now they're slowly going to descend up into like, because like Young Justice, if you recall, was a children's anime. That's different because it was on Cartoon Network, then it was on a streaming service.
Right.
But they eventually, it was very graphic, very adult, very overt. Now could be inching that way throughout the season. And yeah, Superman just a little himbo. Oh, and I love it. It's actually all I really cared about in the episode.
He completely forgot about the rest. He just paused it there, and
I didn't pause it. I rewound it, replayed it, rewound it,
reverse
replayed
10
it.
seconds.
I needed the movement because they like literally they do like, I don't know how they did it animation wise, but it's like the shirt's texture and the creases of the abs without it being like this gratuitous just see-through shirt or whatever. It's how a t-shirt, like a really nice white shirt, would hold on your body. You just look so handsome, man. Yo, and what, like Lois is so small compared to him too.
They did do a good job of drawing them where you could very much see the size comparison, as well as I like that he's not like overly big. Like obviously he's a big guy, but it's not a 90s any DC or Marvel comic.
Rob Liefeld
like
had nothing to do with this art.
Exactly.
Obviously, Rob Liefeld doesn't contribute to this story here, but yeah, it's just like, also they made Lois smaller and Jimmy smaller, but they're small in relevance to the world around them as well, and it makes Clark look a lot bigger with their scenes, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So to talk about the other elephant in the room, the fact that in the comics we've got Dr. Ivo. In the comics, he creates
Anthony
the
Ivo.
Amazo, which is probably one of the strongest things in the DC universe because it has the powers of all the Justice League members, I believe. But in this version, he creates a suit that is referred to as Parasite, which does the stuff that Parasite does, which is absorb powers, use it against them, and that kind of thing. So first, what was your opinion of this change to Parasite, Ivo? Do you have any theories? Because I've got a lot to say on this.
So, in all honesty, I don't care for it, but at the same time, it doesn't really like dilute anything for me. It's fine. I do feel like I'm not a big tech-based villain guy all the time, and that's pretty much what the show's going for. So, like, I have to be okay with it. It is weird to take a villain that is actually tech-based, right? He builds a robot called the Amazo, and then merge it with a villain who's not tech-based, and then make it all tech. So that part not my favorite, but I like Amazo is a really cool character in Young Justice. I think only 2 times, but in the 2 times, it's like they all have to take every piece of Amazo and drive it across the country in opposite directions because they don't know how any of it works. And in it, Batman has this like dialogue where he's like, "It took 30 leaguers over 12 hours to dismantle Amazo," and it was like a really hard line. And then later, there's a character named Red Volcano who like absorbs a piece of Amazo and then just becomes crazy overpowered after that.
Right.
So little experience with Mazo there. I like that version of Mazo a lot. Unlike the what is it? The Arrow version of Mazo, which is just the name of the boat that Dr. Ivo is on, and he's looking for the Mirakuru, which makes Deathstroke soldiers. Obviously, we take creative liberties.
Oh man. So my opinion of this one, I liked it a lot because obviously they changed it, but I should say I like it a lot if it goes in the direction that I think it's going to go. Because I liked that this one, he creates a suit. Obviously, he's using his tech, creates the parasite, it absorbs powers, but only temporarily when he gets attacked with them. He gets damaged. Obviously, he's put in a situation where now he's all crippled, malformed, and stuff like that. I have a feeling that this is going to lead into him creating the Amazo of going in the, okay, well, I mean, obviously, tech genius, trial and error, that kind of thing. And he's going to look at this and go, Parasite was good. It absorbed the powers, but the fact that it required absorbing and that it would get rid of them, I need to change that. So I got to make a robot that has the powers already. And I feel like this will be something where where he could be in the background doing this kind of thing. Then later on down the road, we do get a Mazo. And that's more of one of those big fights. We see him really get like pushed to the limit kind of thing. Obviously, he'll have another anime power up, but I feel like that could be the direction that they go with this, just because the way that he did the parasite and with the suit, it definitely felt like it could be advanced and evolved into something more amazo where, I mean, it could be a suit and he gets morphed with it and that's like the creative liberty, or he does it as like a full, I don't want to reach a situation where it goes haywire, Superman beats me, and I end up looking like this afterwards.
Dude, the way that the suit crushed him and sucked the life out of him, that was the moment I was like, maybe we're inching towards Adult Swim, you
Yeah.
know, more than just their little sexual tension. Oh, but it is there. It is cooking, my friends. Somebody pointed out in the chat, but yeah, there was an Amazo robot in the CW way later after they did the Amazo boat. It was for the Elseworlds crossover, which was really cool, and it was one of Tyler Hoechlin, like Superman's first crossover with them. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a good show. There was a little sad moment with Jimmy. Jimmy got left. It's like the three best friends. I don't know how to read a room at all. I'm really stopping sexual tension constantly. Jimmy, get a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something to do, dude. Holy crap. If the next episode is Jimmy moping, I'm going to slap him. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, Jimmy. Stop being annoying. Because he even knew. He's like, you like Clark, don't you? He knew in the first episode, and now he just doesn't know. Pick a lane, Olsen. I've had it with him. It's funny that he has a YouTube channel.
Yep.
Like, I already uploaded on Flamebird. I get that. That's what I talk. I was like, I already uploaded on Bad Days. I already covered that story. So it's going to be interesting to see. Definitely a fun reveal of having Lois piece together the truth about Clark all on her own.
Yeah, what did you think about that? Because did you before I actually asked that, did you see the first Superman movie with Brandon Routh?
Yeah.
Okay. Because in that one, she also pieces it together that Clark is Superman pretty early on in that as well. Do you think they're going to go in a similar direction with this, or do you think this is going to be one of those ones where maybe they do a misdirect for an episode or two and then Clark's like, okay, you know what? Here's who I am. Or is he going to do it to Jimmy and Jimmy's going to help him cover it up kind of thing?
Well, no, he was
Like,
ready to tell her. He was going to tell her in the episode, remember?
well, I mean, obviously he was ready to
Yeah.
tell her in the episode, but he also knows what she thinks. And then her reaction of blaming Superman right after. I don't know if this is going to go in the direction of he's going to go, oh, I should not admit this, and then just pursues the lie. And I'm just
Yeah,
curious what your thought on that.
I think it'll probably be more simple than that, just because this show isn't going to be one. I think this show is doing a good job of just skipping tropes. They're really like, because like there is a Lois Clark dynamic in most mediums, like the original Superman anime thing, where Lois doesn't give a shit about Clark. She's like very much, okay, Smallville, whatever you say. Ugh, I like Superman. And then there's like, and she dates Batman in that one. I don't know how Superman the animated series and all that whole area, the Timverse. I see why a lot of people like it. I grew up on some of it and I like it. A lot of it is very fetishization, sexual fan play for Bruce Timm for him to be like, no, Batman and Lois are sleeping together. And he's like being a little weirdo. That guy makes porn in his free time, just so everyone's clear. I'm not like roasting him for nothing. He makes porn of his characters. He
Okay, that's
sells
funny.
prints of like Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn and Batgirl naked. Like that's a real thing he does at cons.
Is he the one that does that like on comic book covers? I didn't
I don't
know
think he
those
was
were
doing it on the
real.
covers. I think he does it in like Rule
Well, I've
34
seen
internet stuff.
Well, that's the thing is I've seen those kind of covers like occasionally on like Instagram and stuff and like
Yes.
Reddit. I didn't know those were
It's
real.
sad to know it's
that's
the
funny.
actual artist doing it, but yeah,
It's it's both sad and kind of hilarious.
it's kind of hilarious,
Yeah,
but it's
like-
also just very like ugh. But I just say that to say that this portrayal of Superman and Lois, I really love that she's just like doting over how cute he is and she's so into him. Because
Mhm.
I kind of hate the whole like Mary Jane cheats on Harry with Spider-Man and then cheats on Peter with Spider-Man before knowing it obviously it's the same guy, but there is a level of like in her brain she's actually cheating.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I hate that love triangle of Superman Lois because like they have like a little moment where she blushes last episode, but then this one it's like Clark is my guy. She gives him a little kiss on the cheek, and it's so cute. She's like, "This was a date, wasn't it? God damn it, it was a date. It was a date, and I loved it." But you know, I just like this show. I wish there was more episodes out at once because I guess I'm an adult and I need more than 22 minutes of content.
Which is ironic because I would be very okay watching 2 episodes of this, but if it was an hour-long episode, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to watch it.
Dan, you kill me. The way you consume media is unlike any other, I swear.
If I can't binge something a lot of the time, I can't watch it because I will binge it and the second I fall off, I have trouble going back, Mushoku Tensei. But otherwise, I can literally sit here and watch like 3 entire 12 episode season anime in a single day. But anyway, we're moving off of Superman or the Supermanime with that. Overall, I think we're both very much enjoying this show. It's a lot better than I was expected. And like you said, it is going more into an Adult Swim direction. And I'm curious to see if they keep going that direction. And if they do, how far they end up actually going. Because
the sexual tension is crazy in this show. You guys don't get it, man. It's wild. And they're not doing it in like a cheap way where it's like they're putting Lois in little low-cut dresses. She's wearing pants all the time. Yeah, and it's fantastic.
Anyway, guys, that is Hassan. I am Dan. Once again, this is brought to you by Into the AM. Use code ABSOLUTELY at checkout. Save 10%. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you next time with episode 5 of the Supermanime review.